Justin, I've FOIA'd Tom Bach at this township hall. He sent a response to me. He sent me every bit of information asked for. I have all of that copied. I was told that FOIA was going to be $1,000. And then the FOIA for Pat Paget's property, I was told was going to be $1,600. I think this is just absolute idiocracy when you're trying to help a person in the township. I came in here and was able to get some of the information, and I know you were here that day, going through some property folders. We still cannot find out when Pat and Claire Paget's property got turned from C3 into I-1. Same as Eddie Brothers, same as Dockett's, same as many, many others. And I guess, Justin, just so you're aware, I FOIA'd all townships in the entire county for attorney bills. Yours are the most pathetic that I've ever seen. I mean, I've not seen any that are just unknown. What you do during the day, the communications. Every other attorney, including from your own law firm, are way more detailed. So, with that said, I want to make sure that all of my FOIA appeals are followed through. And also, Justin, there's communications that Sam's told me about, and I had a citizen show me the zoning administrator had with you, and they're not coming up on the bills. So I don't know if that's when you're at Great Lakes Federal Credit Union, and you're getting paid by both, or who's paying you. I mean, that's really disturbing. I think you need to go. That's my opinion. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming up on my website. I own the website called CollinTownship.com. And it's going to be one heck of a truth bomb. So you guys all check that out.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Good evening, Board, Collin Township Board. My name is Bob Bregel. I'm the president of the Linwood Civic Improvement Club. And on behalf of the Linwood Civic Improvement Club, I want to thank you, the board, and the people of Collin Township. I'd like to pass out just a little thank you letter that the Linwood Civic Improvement has come up with to thank you folks for your donation to the Linwood Access, Scenic Access, and just a little follow-up story, real short. When we were young, just tiny tots, after church, Dad would load us up in the car and we'd go down the end of the road to see if the water was still there. He'd say, let's go see if the bay's still there. So we'd go to the end and turn around, and I can't tell you how many times we would talk about doing something here. Dad, 50 years ago, Frank Bregel had a store in Linwood, and he was also the treasurer of the Linwood Civic Improvement Club. And I remember talking at home about doing something out there at the point, getting something to have a better access, maybe a boat launch, maybe a rest area, just something that would be nicer to the community. And for you folks to step up and give that donation, we just really appreciate it. And I thought it would be necessary to stop in person and let you people know how much we appreciate that. Again, this has been going on for 50 plus years. So we are very close, as it's been said by Reverend Charlie, and we appreciate, again, your donation to this cause. And we're not going to stop. We're going to do whatever it takes to follow this through. Again, thank you, Board. Appreciate it. And thank you for the people of Collin Township.
Thank you, Bob. Anybody else?
My name is Michelle Penix, 53 South Linwood Beach Road. Great speech. I love it 100%, but believe it or not, that was dredged at one point and our access to the water was denied. We had a neighbor that had a tri-tune or pontoon back there at the time. We had jet skis, and we were no longer able to get out. So So with this new project coming, I'm hating to be here to say a word, because I love the idea, 100%. But what are you gonna do on the other side where I have water access? Because definitely there's still people who come through on kayaks, on paddle boards. They can go right under the bridge to Marks, turn around, come back. There's little kids that go out on rowboats out there. So it is accessible, but not by a boat any longer because of the dredging that they did, and it closed off the access. It would be nice, because that was one thing that was beneficial to my property, considering now I'm gonna have cabins beside me. Maybe. Also, the situation you were talking about earlier, about the water that's going on down on South Linwood Beach. I'm considered South Linwood Beach, but obviously I'm way away from where that situation is. Would that cancel us out of that? Just putting it out there, because we are South Linwood Beach Road. And if you're gonna be charging people on South Linwood Beach Road, I qualify under that, and so does Mark Pananzak and whoever else is gonna be an owner.
It would be the people affected from
The other side?
hotel that way.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that, didn't want something added to a bill. I appreciate your time, thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing none, we will move on to new business. Okay, the first thing is, at the last board meeting, we talked about increasing some of our insurance for the township on trucks to make sure we could replace them rather than, so we went through at the buildings and looked at the trucks, the different trucks. And this one page here, if you look at the top of the back, it shows that for just under $9,000 more, we can increase the trucks and the buildings and that to something that would be in a replacement value.
Within range of purchase.
Within the range of purchase. You know what the end range of purchase would be when it comes to, well, we're bidding on a new truck right now. So, and that's, give or take us trading one in or selling one. That's right around 700,000, I guess.
Yeah.
So,
Hey Charlie, what's the one on,
That's,
where it says delete on the third page?
oh, delete was the building that we tore down when I first got on the board. And that's what the $13 credit, when it says item number such and such is gone. If you want, we can fly through that real quick.
No, that's right.
these dollar values aren't gonna tell the people what we increased the value of the vehicles. This is just, we increased the value of these vehicles and buildings for replacement and, basically replacement. So, but this was the $13 that building, that's what we were paying on that building. That's why we tore it down. It wasn't worth too much.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm not even sure the $13 wasn't worth more than the building.
And then we made sure that both buildings, this one and the town hall was up to $2 million, and this building is compared to $3 million. And it's still maybe slightly under, but what covers us is, if this building was the only one to be damaged, the cap on our policy is $5 million now. So we could recreate this for the $5 million. And, or vice versa, something happened to the building next door, it could be as much as $5 million. Or say terrible windstorm hit the cemetery and the chapel's gone. In the case of the chapel, it was insured for 60, it's at 100. And since we didn't underinsure it, then they would actually, if it cost 175 to redo, then it would be covered. It's because of purchasing so many dollars worth of the building coverage. So it worked out well in their gear. The fire department was increased so that if something ever happened, we've had tornadoes in weird places this year. Or they could be going somewhere and lose a truck easy with the two highways here and how people seem to be distracted driving. It's not good. So it's better to be proactive versus reactive.
So this price of $9,893,
Yes.
this is not a bill.
This is not a bill. What I,
I would make a motion though, that when the bill come in for the increases that we requested, that we pay it.
yes, because this coverage is bound. So
So I would make a motion,
I would second that.
should I make a motion to pay it up to $9,000 or,
He thinks it won't be that much, but it will not exceed $9,000.
we'll make the motion to pay the upgraded insurance up to $9,000 before we have to come back to the board.
Charlie, did you second that?
Yeah.
Thank you. Mashano?
Yes.
Glass?
Yes.
Davidson?
Yes?
Campbell?
Yes.
Okay, and then at the last meeting, we spoke of, there's a policy or insurance that we need to fill out some paperwork on, that when a house burns in the township, the insurance company has to check with the state, and if we are on their list, or to put it in a simple nutshell, then that insurance company has to withhold 15%, or, I don't remember.
25% or 15,000 on
Oh, okay,
residential.
it's $15,000 or 25% of the house, whichever is greater. So that the house either gets redone or cleaned up, that we can get some money for it. So they will withhold that from the people as far as doing it until they get done with whatever they're gonna do with the house. We did not, at that time, do the resolution for it. So this is the resolution that we need to do to give to the state to put our name on the insurance list, so when the insurance company checks on it, that they withhold money until the house is either tore down or fixed.
So this resolution here contains a parenthetical that says name of bank. So technically, this couldn't be signed with a parenthetical.
I don't think we've gotten to that far yet.
Okay, well, I mean, in order to sign it though, obviously, we have to have something identified within the resolution.
Right,
You can make it contingent though.
yeah.
Just making the point, parenthetical.
I only had the information I had I'm sorry,
No,
we
it's
only
okay.
had the information we had when we were working with this.
Just
Okay,
wanted to
so
make sure we weren't authorizing it.
the motion would
I
be
can't sign for
contingent on filling in the bank. And I think they're asking for a person.
Did we
We did vote that through.
did identify that last
Yeah,
time.
yes, we did, but we didn't identify which bank we're gonna use for the escrow funds. We have to open up an escrow account,
Correct.
so
So,
that would have to be the name of the bank.
I'm a fireman, I
I know.
found the law, man.
Say local, I'd say like go to
Huntington
Frank
or
McCray.
Franklin?
Yeah.
It really doesn't matter, I'll make the motion to sign the resolution after we decide where we're gonna open up the escrow account.
I'll second it.
And also filling in what we had voted on last month as far as the designated people.
Yeah,
I mean,
'cause
that was
in
actually
those.
in the motion last
That
month.
was in last month's motion.
Were we specific?
Yeah,
Yes.
We should have the minutes here.
Right here.
I typed them, I can't remember.
Subject to identifying the point of contact, they mean the treasurer as the administrator of the escrow account and having the treasurer and clerk as double signees on the check. So pretty specific.
and the fire department is basically to be the one
Did you
to
get a
say yes
second
or
on
no,
that?
regulate it's done or it's not done. They would be the point person in the field.
Okay,
Glass?
Yes.
Davidson?
yes?
Campbell?
Yes.
Mashano?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Fletcher requested to be on the agenda. I don't see him here. He's still very concerned about the $177 that supposedly he had a water leak that was above his sump pump, and he doesn't feel that he should pay the $177 in sewer fee on his account because the water leaked directly into the sump pump. I don't see him here, so I can only tell you that when I talked to him, that's, well, that might be what he said here was $177. The agenda, this one, I would like to finish the discussion. He was going to talk to us about that sewer credit, is what he said, but he wanted to be put on the agenda, so. We made our decision, so I think we'll just have to move on. I don't think there's any reason to table it. If he wants to be on the next one, he can ask, right?
So just say he didn't attend and we dropped it at this point. Okay.
You need a motion to that effect? No.
There's nothing to decide.
Huh?
There's nothing to decide.
Yeah. All right, and then our FOIA procedures, if someone has a question about the answer they got from a FOIA and appeals it, it has to come before the board. So we have Mr. Eddy here appealed his FOIA that we sent him back, and he was asking for information regarding communications between the Spicer Group and its employees, communications between Great Lakes Federal Credit Union, Smith and Berker, and I think there was one more. There was a question in regards to, hang on.
Oh, the top says,
Yeah,
Yeah, it's any communications between Gary Root
right.
and
So-
Spicer.
So the answer that we sent him, given the fact that we are, well, that was just a request for the extra 10 days. But at that time, Gary Rook answered that he didn't have any information. And gathering data, Spicer Group, nor does Mr. Rook, therefore, since we do not have said documents, it would be impossible, so we don't have the documents he's requesting here, so he's appealing.
Mr. Roof in the planning commission meeting admitted that he had documents.
I asked him again today, and he said he didn't, so
I
I
think he's right out there.
He is, he's out in the hallway. He was.
Is he in the hallway?
I don't see him.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
him.
he was just standing right
He was
over there,
on the
sitting on
table
the other
there.
shelf.
but
He spoke of it, it's on a recorded meeting. He spoke of the definitions and how there was no salvage yard definition. Remember, Mr. Campbell?
he just said that. Now that what you just said,
You create one.
Well, somebody created these definitions for the survey.
and supposedly,
That was, the survey is different than this. I had Spicer do the definitions, I don't know where they got them from, I didn't ask.
2015, because I did a FOIA, and my FOIA said that there were definitions for a salvage yard, and I'm still waiting to see the definitions. Because I received the invoices, so then I said I want the supporting documents. The question here would be, when we say we didn't have a definition, I'm saying there's a definition that existed, or else it wouldn't be in the invoicing from Spicer, 2015.
I believe it also said it was published, Mr. Campbell. Is that correct?
I can't go that far, but I do remember something about June 2015, and Spicer saying that there was definition. because I said I wanted to see it. And
He was researching for Jen and Spicer. And the rest of the planning commission, that's what the FOIA was for.
So when's the last time that anybody sitting on a board or working in this office had training on records retention and what's required by the law?
We have a list of what we have to retain and what we don't have to.
It's actually prepackaged trainings that townships do as far as what you have to retain, as far as your emails, any communications that you have with others that are involved. that have
So
to be
in regards
retained.
to this appeal, which we are talking about at this particular moment, I don't know where Mr. Roof would have got his Spicer. I would assume would have a dictionary in regards to what the definitions are.
I believe he was looking through the records here for them. If I,
But I don't
that,
know.
that was my understanding when he spoke of it at the meeting.
That's what he spoke of, and in the parking lot, that he told me when he left the building the day, and that's why I referenced this FOIA, is because he told me he left here with documents.
And he couldn't have left here with originals because that would be a violation of
Right.
state law, so he would have to have copies. Should be
I don't
creating
think he made
copies.
any copies though, so I don't know if he's got the copies.
Well, truth be told, if we gotta take this to court, I have the recorded conversation with Mr. Roof. So, there you go.
Well, you never know.
And actually, records retention is germane to this discussion, because if everybody is very clear on the work that they do and what is created, and know what they have to hold on to, this is not the first time, in my understanding, that a FOIA has come through where people said, oh, I don't have it, oh, I don't have those emails, oh, I delete my emails, and that's not something you can do when you're working in a municipality. So training for records retention is actually a good idea, and there are already some standalone trainings that can be done to explain exactly how this stuff has to be dealt with. There are state laws, there are requirements from the state archivist, who I've had the pleasure of speaking with. This needs to actually be looked into to make sure people are doing the right thing. Just because you're sitting on a board, that doesn't mean like, yay for you, here's your chair. There needs to be more instruction as far as what is required by law when it comes to what has to be retained.
July 24th, 2015, I stand corrected by 1 month. The invoice of July 24th said, we prepared handouts for salvage yards and the master plan. Nobody knows where the handout is.
I think the lawyer got him in his office.
Well, if those were handed out, then I would think, Mr. Campbell, you have copies.
It's saying July of 2015. I was not on the board at that time.
Oh,
Well, this does ask for the time period between January 22 to the present date of 24.
So this wasn't asking about 2015.
What this is saying is the definition exists. So to say the definition does not exist, this document says that definition does exist. That's the moral of the story. If we say that there is no document, but this says there is, then why did we pay them $2,000 to give us a piece of, we give them $2,000 worth of tax money, where's the definition?
Well, I need some guidance.
I can't speak on behalf of Spicer. All I know is you have a FOIA in front of you, you've got the deputy clerk here. The question is, if people say it exists, then turn it over. Because FOIA is for when you're holding documents.
But apparently we don't have it. Apparently Spicer had it back in 2015.
But I mean, this doesn't specifically ask if we have a document. It's asking for, I think, communication between Gary and, so I don't know that it's a question of whether or not it exists. It's a question of whether or not it was a communication between Gary and Spicer. Right? Am I not reading it right?
Yeah.